Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at Arklatex I'm meteorologist Josh Marces with your Tuesday morning forecast update. We do have the threat of seeing some strong to severe thunderstorms. This will be much later today as well as tonight as this outlook goes through about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we have a more significant severe weather threat as we move past sunrise on Wednesday. So I'll break that down for you in just a moment, but most of the day on Tuesday should be a quiet one for us. We've had a few thunderstorms just south of Interstate 20 early this morning, and we expect the thunderstorm activity will be at a minimum or kind of the low end of the scale through sunset tonight, and then after sunset, that's when we'll likely see that chance of storms ramping up across much of the region. Your temperatures this morning pretty mild as we're in the 50s and 60s. Cool spot is DeQueen, which has dropped into the 40s, and you can see there is a stationary front down along the coastline. We had one storm move across DeSoto, Red River, and up into Bienville and Claiborne parishes, and it did produce some thunder and lightning, maybe even some small hail, but that boundary, that stationary front that's down along the coast, that will lift north as a warm front later today, bringing that initial threat of some severe weather tonight and then a cold front sweeping through tomorrow. So for your Tuesday morning commute, we've got a little bit of fog south of I-20, but fog is not as significant an issue today as it was yesterday, and the winds will be much lighter. Of course, a breezy day yesterday. Today the winds will be in the 5 to 10 mile per hour range, but as that warm front moves in tonight, winds will increase tonight and through the day tomorrow. Pretty warm day despite the increase in cloud cover we're expecting, as highs will be in the upper 70s and low 80s. I'm pretty sure you can spot the troublemaker here, which is this upper level low that's moving into the desert southwest. Once that moves into the Arklatex tomorrow, that is going to bring all the ingredients for some pretty significant severe weather across the country, and we'll kind of be on the leading edge where those stronger thunderstorms start popping up at some point tomorrow morning. So we'll initially see around move in closer to sunrise, and then we could have some additional development in the morning and afternoon. So right now the Storm Prediction Center has us in the slight risk outlook, with the wind and hail being the primary threats, but there is a window here where we could see a few tornadoes, especially in Arkansas and Louisiana, and that would likely be late tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon. So at some point I would not be surprised if we did see an enhanced risk, maybe pulled further back into Louisiana and Arkansas here, maybe just east of Interstate 49, but I do think the threat for severe weather is increasing for us here in the Arklatex, and you can see that moderate risk between Memphis, Little Rock, and over towards Birmingham. So once these storms move out of the Arklatex, Storm Prediction Center expecting a pretty significant severe weather outbreak, what would be Wednesday evening and Wednesday night off to the east of us. So I'll show you a couple different forecast models here. This is one of our high resolution models, which I think is doing a better job at showing the warm front moving in tonight. So you see by about 4 or 5 p.m. we've got a few thunderstorms going, and again these will potentially bring some high wind and hail. I do believe the tornado risk is pretty low with these storms late tonight, early tomorrow morning, but it obviously can't be ruled out here. The more significant line of severe weather expected to move in by daybreak tomorrow. So you see by tomorrow morning, East Texas and Oklahoma, this will mainly be wind and hail, but we could potentially see a few embedded tornadoes within this line Wednesday morning. Notice the storms continue to move off to the east, and we'll likely see some redevelopment, and that's what we're watching here. Will be these storms that kind of redevelop in the early afternoon as the cold front makes its way in. So it will be these storms here that are capable of producing the higher tornado threat, and notice most of that activity moves out of the Arklatex by the time we get to about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and again those thunderstorms really start ramping up to the east of us, so things will quiet down late tomorrow afternoon. This is a couple of models here, including our in-house model, which is showing pretty quiet conditions today, but it is showing some of those pop-up showers later this afternoon, this evening. Notice it does show the warm front, but it really doesn't show too much development over the Arklatex here, but it gets the general idea. There could be some storms out there later this evening and tonight. We head into your Wednesday. It starts to bring some of those storms in again after sunrise tomorrow, and again these would be capable of all those severe weather hazards that I mentioned, but notice here that the timing is really consistent with the other forecast models and taking that threat of severe weather out of the region once we get into the late afternoon hours on Wednesday, and we should begin to dry out after that with comfortable conditions for the rest of the week. These will be really quick moving storms, so we don't expect they'll lay down a lot of heavy rain here, but again Futurecast is showing some half-inch to maybe 1-inch accumulations, especially across across portions of Louisiana as well as southern Arkansas. So at this point, flash flooding not expected. And once we get through Wednesday, things really quiet down for us. We'll get back to some cool weather with highs in the 60s. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, overnight lows will be in the 40s, and we'll start to warm it up late in the upcoming weekend. Weekend's looking to be a good one with highs in the 60s and low 70s.